Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mark from Solo Games. Today, we're going to talk about the pre-dumping discussion I've made in that video about March of the Machines and kind of an update for that video. So, if you missed it, Amazon had this sale, I guess, for March of the Machines Aftermath booster epilogue boosters. The boosters have 24 packs with 5 cards each pack. It's a nightmare. But they're charging it, I think originally like $130 or something, like a normal set booster or draft booster. But they've recently knocked the price down to 81 or 82, and then plus tax. And then recently I saw a different game store selling it for 80 on Amazon as well. So there's that. Now, I know there was a lot of backlash against me and content creators making content that said, hey, this is not pre-dumping. This is just normally how they adjust pricing. I would overall agree with that. Again, initially, when I talk to my sources for distributors and et cetera for cards, the price that was quoted to me and to the people who would be buying those boxes was 87-ish, that range. Now, you can imagine, 78 range, right? Now, $78, if that's the distribution price, and you try to sell it for 80, you're not making any money. In fact, you're probably losing money if you're doing that kind of stuff, right? So that's why I said, hey, that's a pre-dump. Now, there was an error by the distribution, and they've actually re-corrected their pricing. I'm not sure if they readjusted pricing for people who purchased on that round when it was $78. But right now, it looks like distribution has come down to around 68, which also is very confusing to me. I don't know how distribution can have different pricing when they have a very clear price from WotC, right, whenever they get the product. Or they had to pre-order their product too. When they pre-order the product, the WotC should quote them a price, and that price should be the same. So did they just mark it up a lot because they thought, oh, we can sell a bunch of this stuff, or maybe they were looking at Amazon? Again, this is all the problem with WotC, man. Just have MSRP. Not only have MSRP. So this part is for WotC, not for distribution, not for stores, whatever. WotC, get our MSRP back again. Do not have this weird thing where MSRP is variable. Have MSRP on your product, and then enforce that. A lot of card games, to have market stability, they enforce MSRP. You can sell my game anywhere, but if you do sell it anywhere, you cannot sell it for below this price. And if you do that, then we're gonna cut you off from distribution. That's the kind of stuff we need to see coming from WotC to all distributors and to all the stores. Because if you want to have stability of the game, that's what you need to do. You can't have these pre-dumping of your product before the set is even available. Now, a month out from there, if you want to run a special sale, you run something different, I think it's fine, right? More product in the market, etc. I think it's fine. But don't do that stuff before the product's even released. Now, whether or not this is a dump of a product before, I think maybe dump is too harsh of a word. Especially if we consider dump has to be lower than price of production, meaning you're selling it at a loss. So our stores is Amazon selling it at a loss? Given my original information of $78 coming from distribution, I would argue yes, $82 pushes a lot of stores to sell that product at a loss. Now, with the readjusted $68 though, I would say, yeah, it's actually a fair price. You're getting about maybe $10 or so in profit for the box. So now it's no longer a dump, if you will. But at the same time, as you can see from all the prices on the internet now, they're all driving lower. So I'm seeing prices that are racing down below $80 now, 78, 79, and going lower. Now, every single store, every single LGS, they get different prices from distribution based on things like how long you've been a customer, what your normal order quantities are, how much you ordered this set. These kind of things do matter, and distribution will quote different prices depending on, again, how loyal you are of a customer to them. So this is all normal stuff, right? So what does that mean with respect to the boxes? I think they are probably too cheap, and I think a lot of them are pushed too low. And I don't mean cheap as in you should go buy them today, because I have no clue whether this set is even going to be worth it. Maybe it comes out, all 5 cards are garbage, or whatever, all 40 something to 43 new cards are garbage, then nobody cares anyways, right? Maybe the set is amazing and it's all 43 battles, and these battles are crazy good. And that changes the meta all over, because again, remember, this set is printed into standard. It's not draftable, but it's a standard playable set. And that affects every single format, standard and back. So if they print some power in here, if they print something that changes things, like I'm looking at you, White Plume Adventurer, right? things like this could change the meta a lot, and then it could definitely skyrocket the prices. So no one actually knows, right? But what I'm saying is I don't want volatility up. I don't want volatility down. I want something more stable. I think that's healthier for a game, for players to have an understanding of how much their deck should cost and reasonably be able to buy that deck for a certain price and below that price so that everyone can access the cards. Now, it should not be zero, but there's a price and there's a number that's reasonable, and above that number is unreasonable. Don't go above that number, okay? So right now, no one really knows, but I think personally, if you want to play with the cards, I think that pre-order for $80 on Amazon or 82, it's pretty good. And as you can see, Amazon's already raising the price. I think last time I checked a couple days ago, it was around 85 now, 84.99. So they kind of upticked a little bit. But again, this thing originally being sold for 82, I think it should not have gone that low. Now, of course, because once he ships those cards directly to Amazon, it skips distribution, they can go fairly low. But to undercut distribution and undercut LGSs, that's a bad move, especially for pre-release. A lot of times that pre-sale, pre-release period for LGSs and stores, that's how they make their money. And if you do not allow them to have that, then you are destroying all the stores. Whether you say it, whether you don't say it, whether whatever, the actions you take is obvious. So, was it a dump? Depends on your definition. Regardless, it's a dick move. And it's a dick move to LGSs. Mark, Solo Games, stay classy.